How is year 10 different than year 1, year 2, year 3?
Quite a bit. Obviously, you learn every year. Last year was no different. But just excited to be back. Excited to have all the guys in here. We were here a little bit early and got a chance to kind of get settled in, and so, all the rest of the guys show up today. So I'm excited. Every year is a different year. New players, new coaches, all that kind of stuff always happens here in this league, and this year is the same.
What's your biggest reason for optimism, heading into this season?
I'm optimistic every year. I know the work that I put in. I know the work that my teammates put in. Our coaching staff put in the off season. I know it's not gonna, falter now. It's gonna probably just even get, ramped up even more. So, you can look around and see the guys working next to you and the talent next to you, and feel pretty good about it.
This is your second coaching change since you got in the league. Were there any lessons learned that you learned, or something you need to do as a player from the last time there was a coaching change to that first year gap?
I think anytime there's, change, you have to learn to adapt. Each person is a different person. Each coach that we've had in here is a different person. They like to run the system a different way. As a player, as a leader of the team, it's on me to adapt to that and get us going in the right direction as soon as possible. And Coach Patricia is no different. He and I have great dialogue and talk quite a bit. So, I'm just doing everything I can to lead these guys in the right direction.
How is that communication with you and Patricia, or you and Jim Bob Cooter?
See him every day. Talk to him every day. And especially this time of year during training camp. I mean, we're here, long days every day. So there's a ton of time to talk about all sorts of different things and get to know each other as well as we can.
Matthew, how have you seen technology change in the game, whether it's how you're watching cut-ups when you're home on an iPad, or different video looks that you get? How has technology and gadgets changed just in your career?
A ton. I'm probably not the first guy to ask about that kind of stuff. I'm not great with technology, but there's enough smart people around here to help me figure it out. But it's pretty incredible. There's virtual reality stuff that's sweeping across the league. There's, we used to get handed a DVD to go pop in your DVD player on your TV at home, and now it's all just shot to you on the Wi-Fi or whatever, and you're able to watch whatever. Coaches can, push cut-ups and plays, whatever they need to you in an instant. So I know it's made probably coaches' lives easier as well, being able to make those cut-ups quicker, and as the technology gets better, and obviously, the quality of the tape and the ability to make those cut-ups has helped the players as well.
Are you using virtual reality stuff, and is that new for you to
not a ton. Not a ton. I don't have anything on my helmet or anything strapped into it. I don't know all of the different ways that people can use them. I've tried those goggle things once. We don't have those, but no. I mean, I think there's benefit to it for sure for people that maybe don't get a ton of reps to go out there and find a way to get a rep without running around.
Matthew, what's easier for you now versus maybe 3-4 years ago?
I don't know. I think just experience in this league. Obviously, you're comfortable with the way training camp is going to go and the way the preseason is going to go, and you know what regular season's all about. Just those experiences. But there's probably a couple of things that are harder too. I mean, just getting up and moving around and doing all that is more difficult as you play more years. But I don't know. That's a good question. I think none of it's easy. I'm always trying to find a way to be better, and I don't see myself as a finished product really ever.
Yeah, you say some things that are harder now. I mean, do you feel it more now? Like, I know obviously it's starting yet, but is that like even in May and June, were you like waking up the next day like, ooh, wait, I feel that in 26?
I don't. Obviously, I came into this league. I was 21 years old, and I felt pretty good most days. But 30 now, it's not. I don't feel bad, but it's different. A little bit of a new normal. But no, I feel as good as I felt coming into a camp in a long time. I feel really healthy and ready to go.
As you go along, this might be more mental than anything. Do you learn what's important, what to focus on, and not waste your time on things that aren't so important?
Yeah, absolutely. I think you develop a little bit of a routine, and you understand what works for you and what doesn't. And not to say that you can't tweak that routine every year and find, hey, it's part of the evaluation process in the spring, and is finding what's what you need to work on, what works for you, what didn't work for you, and tinkering it. But for the most part, having a game plan going into a season, and understanding what you're going to do in training camp, what you're going to do in the preseason and the regular season, kind of, helps you focus on maybe some other things that you need to focus on as well.
So if you're not a finished product, how does one get better in year 10? Because it's something, a lot of people may just look at it like, you see improvements early on in your career. I'm sure they're more minute now. So what are you focused on, and how do you get better in year 10?
Yeah, I think every year you just you go back and kind of go through your game with a fine-tooth comb and just pick out one little thing here. And hey, I was working on this going into last year. Did I get better at it? Did I not? Do I still need to work on it even more to get, you're trying to create as good a habits as you can possibly do. Our game is so reactionary. You can't think about a lot of the stuff that you're doing out there. It's got to be, good habits and good reactions. And the more times that you can put yourself in those situations on the practice field, it's going to translate to the game. And that's all I do is just try to put a ton of hard work in and make sure that, we're playing on Sundays and I'm doing the right thing.
Give us one example, just specifically of something that you, trying to get better at or have gotten better at.
I think I'm always trying to clean up, footwork and stuff in the pocket. And, that's something that I've worked on for years, and I feel like I'm getting better at, and I feel like I can continue to get better at. That's one example for you.
Another side of that might be the people you work with, too. I mean, the players like Theo and Amir and Jones and Golden, you sort of know those guys.
Yeah.
Now, how does that translate into production and efficiency, just sort of knowing where they're going to be?
Yeah, obviously having familiarity with players on your team helps. But at the same time, we got to put the work in. Just because we had a good year throwing the ball last year, or a guy had a great season, running the ball or whatever it is, doesn't mean it's going to happen again. And we understand that. You're in this business long enough, you understand that year to year, you got to prove it. And we got a bunch of really competitive guys that'll work extremely hard to go out there and prove it.
When a new head coach comes in and a lot of a new staff, do you get almost invigorated with new ideas? Your eyes get open to different ways of things, or is it not that dramatic of a difference?
No, there's definitely different philosophies, different ideas floating around, and there's compromise. You know what I mean? Everybody's got to kind of make it work. Like I said, we have new personalities coming into into the building, into every room, really. So we just got to come together as fast as we can and go.
The pads come on this week, and obviously you'll still be in that red jersey. But what benefit do you get from maybe the guys in front of you having pads, seeing how things develop from that, I guess, perspective?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's real football. The only thing is like you said, I'm not getting hit, but just windows to throw the ball into, seeing between linemen, how a pocket is really going to hold up or it isn't. Just with you don't have pads on, it's tough. It's tough for the guys on defense, tough for the guys on offense. They're not going to bull rush each other and all that kind of stuff without pads on. So that's part of it. And then really on the outside too, receivers, you don't have pads on, those DBs, it's hard for them to jam you, but you put the pads on, it's real now, and it's real football. It's what it's all about.
Every year you come in, it's been 10 now. Everybody's 1991 haven't won a playoff game. And I know it's a tree you got to chop to get to a playoff game to win it, but you as a player that's been here now probably longer than anybody else as a player, and you hear that every year and every year and every year and year. How do you approach that, to chop that tree?
For me, I just try to put the work in. I can't look behind. I can't look at what happened then or what happened even last year. I've got to understand that, like I said earlier, this is a prove-it league. You got to do it every year and really every week. And then it boils down to every day. I mean, it's cliche, but it is what it is. It's true. It's what the guys that have been playing this game for a long time understand is that every rep counts, every day counts, every week and every game. I mean, it's important stuff. So I just try to take it, day by day and work as hard as I possibly can to be as good a player as I can be and as good a leader as I can be, so this team will, do everything it needs to do.
Do you think you guys have a pretty good pulse on this city and why so much is expected of you guys, even outside your locker room, to rebuild with the Red Wings and the Tigers and the Pistons disappointment? Can you understand why people have such optimism with your team, and how do you guys take that?
Yeah, I mean, I think the majority of guys in this locker room have been playing football for a long time at big-time programs and understand expectations. But at the same time, nobody's got higher expectations than we do in our locker room. We hold each other accountable to being a really good football team and doing things the right way all the time. So all that outside stuff doesn't really, get to us. We really don't talk about it, don't hear it. We just come into work every day with that mindset to go get better, and that's what we're trying to do.
Hey, Matthew, you were asked about the playoffs and not winning playoff. What about yourself personally? Does that grind you? Does that motivate you? Maybe not daily, but just does it pop in your head that the perception is that this team can't win a playoff game, or that you guys haven't, or that you haven't?
I don't. I kind of. There's that mindset to go out there and work to prove people wrong and all that kind of stuff. I just want to prove myself right. That I put this work in for a reason. I'm not doing it to prove anybody else wrong. I'm doing it to prove myself right, and understand that what I do is for the betterment of this team and this organization, and that's kind of the positive spin on that I go for, and it works for me. So.
Did you work with Tom House against the